with everyone talking about how high Bitcoin could go in the current bull market, it's worth having a little bit of a reality check of how the next bear market could look. Here we'll look at the maths and data to try and mathematically predict the next BTC bear cycle low. So we'll jump right into it. Here we can see the Bitcoin cycle master chart. And as we can see, this green undervalued line here, the cycle lows line, I should say, sorry, the blue line is the undervalued line. What we can see, this green line has historically marked the Bitcoin bear cycle lows almost to perfection throughout the entire history of Bitcoin. We can see it called the most recent lows at around $15,000, $16,000. And as I film this today, it's currently sat at just above $42,500, but increasing every single day. And like I said, if we just zoom out, we can see throughout the entire history of Bitcoin, it has been unparalleled in terms of its accuracy in calling the BTC bear cycle low. So this is definitely one to be watching. But we're going to take this a step further. So what we're going to look to is the raw MVRV ratio. So this is the MVRV Z-score chart, but all I've done is remove the Z-score, scaled it a little differently, and we're looking at the raw ratio between the underlying price of Bitcoin and this realized price or cap, the average accumulation price or cost basis for all BTC on the network. Now what we can see is historically there are some very interesting points we need to take to pay attention to. I got there in the end. What we can see is around this point, throughout every single cycle, Bitcoin has dropped almost exactly the same amount beneath this realized price. We can see in the most recent bear cycle, we had an MVRV rating of 0.75. We can see in the previous bear cycle, 0.76. It did briefly dip beneath that to 0.69. We could see in the previous 2015, 2016, 0.75, 0.74, 77, 71 at its lowest. So this is clearly a point of interest, a point on the charts that we need to be paying attention to. So what we'll do is take that into consideration as we go over here to TradingView. And before we look at that, we'll also look at the percentage of drawdown throughout the history of Bitcoin to actually kind of look at the trend of diminishing retracements. Everyone's talking about diminishing returns, but diminishing tracements comes along with that as well. And one interesting thing we can do is if we just draw on the chart something like this, I know it's not exactly perfect, but we can see the current trend of bear cycles is resulting in very much reduced downside. So we can see as we first had our bear cycle in 2011, it was about an 88%. In 2017, 2018, 2019 cycle, it was about 80%, and the last cycle about 75%. So what we can do is if we line this up and assume a continuous diminishing trend of drawdowns, and again, we're kind of going off historical averages here, because if we were to guess that the bear cycle isn't going to come until 2028 or it's going to come a lot sooner, then again, we're kind of in speculation territory. So we're going to be doing all of these calculations on the basis that Bitcoin is going to have a big blow off top in Q4 and follow the traditional 4-year cycle we've had, where we usually have a year-long bear cycle after that. So what we can do is if we assume Bitcoin is to bottom out about a year after we top out, just at the end of 2026, then we can see that this actually aligns pretty much perfectly with a 70% retracement for Bitcoin. And I know everyone's going to say, but this time is different. The institutions are here. We're not seeing that kind of volatility anymore. They're going to prop up the market. And don't get me wrong, I would love to be proven wrong on this and love to see Bitcoin have a deepest retracement, deepest decline of 40%, but we have to be prepared for every single circumstance. It's going to be much more damaging to your portfolio to assume that that can't happen, then prepare for that to be a possibility and be pleasantly surprised. But as I said, we're going to look at the MVRV ratio. And one thing we need to acknowledge before trying to work out where the bottom will be is to maybe just quickly work out where the top might be as well. Now, I did this analysis last week, so I won't spend too long on it there. But what we can see is there's lots of trends in the MVRV ratio for Bitcoin, where again, we usually top out at pretty similar level. So if I just draw that on roughly here, we can see throughout the last few cycles of Bitcoin, we usually have these topping points. It's somewhere around the 2.5x multiple, 2.57, 2.56, up here 2.6. So we'll just, again, be conservative and we'll say roughly a 2.5x multiple of the MVRV band. So that's this upper orange line here. And all I've done to calculate these out is just take the previous 155 days of data action on these lines, or the realized price, which is this blue line here, multiply it so we can kind of gain the average slope. So of course this isn't going to be accurate. It's impossible to predict what the data is going to look like a few weeks from now, never mind months and months from now. But if we project this out into the future, what we can see is if Bitcoin is to follow this traditional 4-year trend of cycles and have have a big blow off top in 2026 and we are to reach this upper orange line here, then this would result in a Bitcoin price of somewhere around $175,000. And again, this data is changing every single day. If we do have a big blow off top, then it's likely that this would very much trend to the upside and we've had significantly higher multiples. But again, we can't map this out. At this point, it's just kind of guessing and speculation, which I guess all of these predictions are, but I have to make content somehow. So if we are to assume that something like that can happen, and again, we bottom out in 2027, what we can see is with that 0.75 multiple on the MVRV ratio, if we would top out $175,000, that if we take this down here, then this 70% retracement lines up pretty nicely with where we'd anticipate Bitcoin to potentially be bottoming out. Somewhere between 65 down here if we had to dip slightly beneath that, if we had to see the realized price slightly start retracing as well in the bear cycle, which we historically do, then that 70% retracement would take Bitcoin to somewhere around a price of just over $55,000-ish, $54,000 on my chart. And if we just look from a technical perspective here, we can see this actually aligns fairly nicely with some key levels that Bitcoin has already tested multiple times through this cycle already. Now, of course, if we are to just reach this 0.75 level on the current trend that we're on, then this is closer to around $60,000. Oops, wrong button. If I press it around there. And again, we can see that this lines pretty nicely with some key technical levels, even into the previous bull cycle as well, pretty much where we topped out apart from a few wicks to the upside. So I think around that 50 to 60K level is an interesting level to watch, but you know, we're going to take this one step further as well. One really interesting metric, which I've seen many people potentially overlook as a very key metric to be watching. Now, I can't take any of the credit for creating this. In fact, if you go to TradingView and search for Bitcoin production cost, we can actually see that I've taken a hell of a lot of inspiration from the Caprioli, the Charles Edwards iteration here, and this Cytophilum indicator as well. So I've actually just combined those because both of them are a little bit outdated on their own to create a Bitcoin production cost. Now, if I just zoom out and add this onto the chart, this is the electrical cost to mine one Bitcoin, which is a really interesting metric because of course it's very much influenced by the halving events. Like we could see if we just zoom in into the 2015, 2016 cycle here, we could see as this halving event occurred in July of 2016, the production electrical cost to mine one Bitcoin went from around $350 to $700 overnight, which makes sense. The inflation rate has decreased by 50%. The block subsidy has dropped 50%. So the price to actually mine a Bitcoin, the production cost to mine one has increased by 2x, it's doubled. But if we zoom out, we can see historically this has been an incredibly accurate indicator for marking the Bitcoin bear cycle lows. Of course, it does start to diminish at some point because we usually see the hash rate start dropping off as Bitcoin is in a bear cycle, miners are left profitable, and because of that, we start to see the difficulty start decreasing, which means the actual cost to mine a Bitcoin decreases alongside that. But throughout the last few cycles of Bitcoin, this has been an incredibly accurate level to be watching, marking pretty much all of the major bottoms in the Bitcoin price action. And again, it doesn't necessarily indicate the exact cycle low, but it's a very, very key level to be watching. And as we can see in our most recent halving event on the 20th of April, one just little asterisk next to this data is I've averaged out over a 2-week basis if it looks a little bit janky, just to kind of average out over a difficulty adjustment period. And we can see as Bitcoin was dipping beneath this production cost value, it was marking the exact local lows for the Bitcoin price action. Some unbelievable accumulation opportunities before we practically immediately rallied by almost 100%, over 100% in about 100 days time. So this is currently sitting at around $70,000. And of course, there's big fluctuations from that. But you know, we're going to take it one step further than that. If we look at the underlying ratio of this electrical production cost of Bitcoin compared to the price of Bitcoin, almost like the MVRV ratio, but apart from the MVRV, we're looking at the production cost to get a big basis on there. What we can see is, again, it's worked incredibly accurately throughout the history of Bitcoin, it marking the bottom. So this is what we could see on the price. When we're beneath this production cost, it results in this ratio dipping towards 1. So accumulating at these levels gives you some very, very cheap Bitcoin. You can buy Bitcoin cheaper than it costs to actually make Bitcoin. And again, we can see some very clear and obvious trends of where the market typically tops out when we've massively exceeded the upside on this level. So of course, in 2017, we spiked way above this, but there's some very clear and obvious levels where Bitcoin maybe jumps to and has a little bit of retracement like we saw in the previous cycle, like we can see multiple times intra-cycle. So again, I think there's a little bit of a pattern emerging in these data points as to where Bitcoin could go. Now this is at a level of 4, so what we could do is to maybe outline where the Bitcoin price action could go. If we were to reach that, then we could just multiply this by 4, so that would result in a Bitcoin price of $280,000, but I think that might be a little bit optimistic. If we can just reach prices we've already reached in this cycle so far, and again, a level that was a key point throughout the previous cycle where we reached it on multiple different levels, then again, we can point this towards a value of around 2.3. So again, all we need to do is multiply the current price of Bitcoin by 2.3, or not the current price, but the production price of Bitcoin by 2.3, which I can't do off the top of my head. It's been a long day. So if we just multiply that here, then we get $161,000, which is actually providing a little bit of confluence with some other levels that we're seeing. And you also need to take into consideration that this is moving to the upside. So by the time we reach the end of 2026, or by the time Bitcoin actually tops out, this is likely to be noticeably higher than this. So just a very interesting point of where Bitcoin could top out. But one thing you also need to acknowledge, if I just go back here, is I know everyone is going to think this time is different, but to really outperform in not just Bitcoin, but in markets in general, you need to focus on limiting your downside, limiting your drawdowns, and limiting your losses. If we look at this data here, what we can see, my head's a little bit in the way, is if we look at the percentage loss on your portfolio and the percentage needed to regain break even, we can see it very much favors not incurring significant losses. At a 50% drawdown, which I think is where my head is covering, the percentage gain needed to regain just break even is 100%. And if you incur an 80% loss, it's a 400% gain required. If we just go quickly back to TradingView here, what we can see is if you were a market genius and you showed the exact peak of the previous bull market to the exact bottom, then you'd have made about a 77.57 return on your position, excluding leverage. If we were to long from the exact bottom, you'd only have need to hold Bitcoin for about 100 days, 116 days to gain a greater profit percentage. You'd have needed to show exactly a $54,000 move to the downside to make less profit than a $12,000 move to the upside. And again, we can take this one step further. I know everyone's sick of me taking it one step further, but it's just simply too exciting. What I can do, because I've just got so many charts open here, is if we look at the impact of having Bitcoin in your portfolio on the best or worst days. Obviously, you've probably seen data points of it's not timing the market, it's time in the market. What we can do is look at data points like this, which show the returns of holding Bitcoin, but missing out on its 5 best days. But what you also need to acknowledge, what many people maybe miss as well, is what's the influence of holding or missing the 5 worst days. So this is a weekly research piece I did, which if you're not a site subscriber, you get access to all of these industry reports, as well as loads of other things. I think I've done the sales pitch enough times for you to know how amazing it is. But we can see from this point here, in the past 3 cycles, missing the best 5 days of bull markets would have only provided 46% of the returns of the full cycle. So a pretty massively detrimental impact. You'd have done less than half of the returns by missing just 5 days throughout the entire cycle. However, if you would have missed the 5 worst days, and keep in mind, this is during a bull cycle, days when periods of time, where we have significantly more positive days than negative days. But if you would have missed the 5 worst days, there's a larger profit discrepancy than missing the 5 best days. You'd have had 54% less. A monumental impact by missing just those 5 worst days and compounding. And this is during a bull market. I didn't even do this analysis on a bear market because you can imagine how detrimental the effect would be. So as I said, everyone's going to get carried away. Once we start getting into euphoric phases, no one's going to think that it can really get as bad as it historically ever has done. But keep in mind, Bitcoin surprises people. Long tail impacts are what make up a vast majority of huge detrimental impacts throughout investing. Look towards the global financial crisis, look to the Wall Street crash of '29, look to the South Sea recession in the 1700s. It's these events that no one can foresee coming, which really bring the biggest detrimental impacts to your portfolio. So how low, could Bitcoin go in the next bear cycle? I think somewhere between that $60,000 to $80,000 region is a fairly good level to watch. And again, I'd love to be proven wrong and not see Bitcoin go as low as that. But looking at historical averages, looking at the diminishing trend of drawdowns throughout cycles, looking at the MVRV bands, and even looking at where we started all that time ago when the video first came into existence. If we look at the Cycle Master, currently sitting at around $43,000, but moving to the upside. Again, if you would just extrapolate that trend on its current trajectory, it's not going to be long before it's in that $60 to $70, maybe even $80,000 region, if this can once again hold true and remain accurate. So just to summarize, I'm not sure how long this video is. I feel like I've been talking for years. So if you liked this video, please like it, obviously. Leave a comment below. I reply to pretty much all of them. And a vast majority of our viewers aren't even subscribers, so make sure you are subscribed for more content like this. But back to the summary. Everyone is focusing on where the Bitcoin bull market peak will be, which is me included. Everyone likes to know how high their investments could go. So it's easy to assume that the current market conditions are unlikely to change anytime soon. Unless you're someone that thinks the market is already topped, we're already in a bear cycle, you do you. I think there's still upside potential remaining, but those that have been investing a long time have been rewarded by preparing and planning for all potential outcomes, not just assuming the current quarter, the current status quo is going to continue indefinitely. A Bitcoin bear cycle is going to come. Boom and busts happen in every single industry, and the narrative of this time is different. Honestly, we've had that narrative every single cycle. I would love to be proven wrong, but at that point, we're speculating. I think the base case is this time isn't different. We are gonna see a lot of people caught off guard, and the aim of investing shouldn't be to catch every single rally that we're currently experiencing in markets, feeling FOMO, looking at other market rallies in equities and commodities. You just need to survive. You need to not get these big, massive drawdowns and just struggle to break even in the next cycle. If you can just stick around and survive long enough, then you can really take advantage of the future rallies that we'll see in markets. So just to summarize the summarization, where do I think the Bitcoin bear cycle could be looking at the data? I think a 60 to 70% retracement is possible. And of course, it very much depends on how high the Bitcoin bull cycle could take us. If we have already topped or are very close, then maybe 60 to 70% is a little bit too bearish. Maybe we only see a 50 to 60% rather than a 60 to 70. No one being pedantic here, but I think anywhere in that $60,000 to $80,000 region would be a very good area to be really aggressively accumulating BTC if we are to reach those levels. But like I said, I would love to be proven wrong, and I'm sure there's gonna be lots of geniuses in the comment section as well telling me how I'm already vastly wrong on this. But if you did like this video, or even if you didn't like this video, as I said, leave a like and comment down below. I look forward to reading and replying to them, and I'm not gonna give the sales pitch, I've already given it this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.